Good evening, everyone, and welcome into your Advanced Performance Management crash course. I hope you all are doing well. So this is session 1. We are starting today. And I hope this crash course is going to help you to pass this paper tremendously. First of all, I would like to share the change in my approach, change in my technique towards question solving. You have studied with me previously. If you have studied with me, you know I used to have a different approach of question solving where I mostly speak and students used to write about the answers. But today, I'm going to use a different approach, and I believe this will change a lot of things. This will improve your performance as well. Okay, so at the end of this session, I will surely need your feedback as well. Okay, that how you find this approach, how you find this style, because I already have applied this in SPL crash course, and I receive like very good feedback from the students. They appreciated it and they liked it because this is more open, and I have the opportunity to discuss a lot of things in this approach, unlike the previous approach. Anyway, so we are starting with the question. The question is already open on the screen. But before that, I need to know how is your theoretical preparation, because you know there are total 6 sessions of advanced performance management, and in these 6 sessions we will have to cover maximum practice questions. I mean, the target is to cover minimum 5 to 6 papers. 5 to 6 papers means almost, we can say, around 16 to 18 practice questions during these 6 sessions. So let me how is your theoretical preparation? Do you want me to explain or revise any theoretical topics? Do you feel need for theoretical revision or no need for that? One more thing, you will have to communicate. That is very important. And you realized already, if you have studied with me in earlier classes, that I always appreciate, I always wait for your response. And during this crash course, this is a more important, because unless you don't tell me what is the issue or where you need improvement, how will I get to know? So that's very important. The communication is very important, and communication success depends upon the two-way of the communication on the both sides. So please, you have to respond. Okay, so tell me, do you need to revise any specific topic, or should we direct go on the questions? Yes, Zishan, you will receive the summary notes. Yes. Probably today itself, I will be sharing the summary notes in the WhatsApp group. So those summary notes are very simple and very easy. Yes, those summary notes like covering almost all the topics and very focused and to the point in slides. Okay. Direct questions, Marine, all right. Any other point any student has to say? Questions? Hello? Okay. Yes, of course, we will touch cousin costing as well, Narmada. Definitely. Hello, Bhavna. Okay, transfer pricing. By the way, one of the question we are going to attempt today is on transfer pricing, and it is a theoretical side of the transfer pricing. So some insights you will be having from this question. And in the coming sessions, if you would like, we can have 5 or 10 minutes of discussion on the transfer pricing topic as well. No problem. Sure, no problem. Yes, we can cover. Let me first, today I will share the slides with you about the summary notes, okay? And in the next class, because in today class, there is no EVA, there is theoretical discussion of EVA in today class, but not the calculation. And in the coming class, hopefully we would be solving one question on the EVA. So then I can take few minutes to revise how to calculate EVA and then how to make the adjustment in the notepad. Okay, Danishta? I appreciate all of you. And here we are starting now. So already told you, today's approach is very different. Very different mean very different. And then at the end of the class, I definitely will like wait for your responses. Okay, because what I believe that today class is going to uh, change your perspective about the advanced performance management as what I believe in these 3 hours. Let's start. So here is the APM pre-December 2022 mock exam. You need to open this question in the ACCA practice platform, please. ACCA practice platform. If you have not opened yet, please open it because you will need it. Once we read it, we will go to the answer, okay? But you will need it. So please open this question in the ACCA practice platform. There are total 4 questions in the practice platform. There are 4 papers available under the latest pattern. Under the latest pattern of advanced performance management, there are 4 papers available. Okay, but don't worry. I already have worked on few more questions that I have updated those questions according to the latest format. So you will have the plenty of practice. Okay. It is under It is under practice exams valid from September 2022 session onwards. So there are total 4 exam papers available. Can you see everyone? Hello? You already have opened this question? Perfect. There are total 4. Very good. All right, so let's begin. Good. Okay, so this is the latest pattern, and I will keep explaining all these things. So let's start. The following exhibits available on the left-hand side of the screen provide information relevant to the question. Exhibit number 1, company information, the background and structure of the company, FLAC, supermarkets. Into performance reporting, details of the work required by the Chief Executive Officer on the current performance report. 3, performance improvement proposal, information about the proposal to introduce 2 new measures. 4, divisional performance evaluation, details of concerns about the current divisional performance evaluation. 5, sources of information, details of sources of information to help improve performance. And number 6, Appendix 1, board's performance report. This information should be used to answer the question requirements within your chosen response options. Response options are, there are 2 response options in the advanced performance management. There is a word processor. Here is the word processor, and the other one is the spreadsheets. There is no slides in the advanced performance management till now. Okay, but there are slides in the SPL you already have if you have already taken the exam. So exhibit number 1, company information. This is about company information. FLAC Supermarkets, name FLAC, is a multinational listed business operating in several developing countries. The business is divided into 2 divisions: Metro, which runs smaller stores in the densely populated centers of cities, and Hyper, which runs the large supermarkets situated on the edges of cities. FLAC sells food, clothing, and some other household goods. So in this paragraph or in this exhibit, you are told about the business model of the FLAC. And this is now the new style of advanced performance management, where under the company information, you are told about the business model. Business model means the nature of the products and the nature of the markets in which the company is operating. So you are told about that, just like as here in the case of the FLAC. Next, number 2, performance reporting. Competition between supermarkets is intense in all of FLAC's markets, and so there is a constant need to review and improve their management and operations. This is a very powerful sentence. There is a constant need to review and improve their management and operations. What this mean? This mean because the company is operating in a very intensive competitive landscape, so they always need to review their operations and their performance reporting system as well. Means their performance and performance reporting system. These are 2 separate things. Although these are connected, performance and performance reporting. Okay, because performance reporting, basically, a lot of companies, you might have heard, even during the advanced performance management as well, a lot of companies measure wrong things. Yes, my dear, a lot of companies measure wrong things. So you know what gets measured gets done. What gets measured gets done. So that's why companies constantly need to review their performance measurement systems as well, that what are they measuring. Chief Executive Officer has asked for an evaluation of the board's performance report to see if it is fit for the purpose of achieving the company's mission of being. That is the point. That is the point. That CEO is asked for an evaluation of the board's performance report to see if it is fit for the purpose of achieving the company mission of being. Okay, so we can highlight this point. Here we go and highlight it. Sometimes this function don't work. It just irritates. Okay, the first choice for customers. This is the mission. You need to log in, Mehreen. Are you able to log in the platform?
Yes, I have been able to.
All right, thank you.
Good, thank you.
Okay, so here is the mission. The first choice for customers by providing the right balance of quality and service at a competitive price. We will achieve this through acting in the long-term interests of our stakeholders, earning customer loyalty, utilizing all our resources, and serving our shareholders' interests. So this is all mission of FLAG. Mission of FLAG, the first choice for customers by providing the right balance of quality and service at a competitive price. We will achieve this through acting. We will achieve. This is called strategy. This is called strategy. We will achieve this through acting in the long-term interest of our stakeholders, earning customer loyalty, utilizing all our resources, and serving our shareholders' interests. This performance report is used at FLAG's board level for their annual review. This performance report is used at FLAG's board level for their annual review. You can also highlight this one. This is also very important point, annual review of performance. So you can now think bigger and bigger. That annual review mean, and that their annual meeting, they review this report and then they make big decisions on the basis of that performance report. So you can now think that how important this type of reports would be. Okay, next. Are you able, Mehreen, to open the question? What is problem? What is issue? You need to use your login details, my dear. Okay. This performance report is used at FLAC's board level for their annual review. The divisional board have their own reports. Also, there has been criticism of the board of FLAC in the financial press that they are short-termist. And so the CEO wants your evaluation of the performance report to include comments on this. A copy of the most recent report is provided as an example at appendix. Now, here is another important point that you need to consider: criticism. Criticism or these type of, if there is any kind of issue in the scenario, you have to address that. You have to consider that, okay, when you start evaluating or you start analyzing something, you must have to critically review, or you must have to critically evaluate whether that criticism is correct or inappropriate. Okay, whether that criticism is appropriate or inappropriate, you must have to consider that as well. Okay, a copy of the most recent report is provided as an example at appendix 1. Okay, move on. Number 3, performance improvement proposal. The board is considering introducing two new performance measures to address the objectives of utilizing all our resources. This point is meaningful. The board is considering introducing two new performance measures to address the objective of utilizing all our resources. This is the objective in the mission statement. I take you back to the mission statement where this is given: utilizing all our resources. This is number 2, exhibit number 2. So you can see here, this is mentioned, all our resources. Okay, utilizing all our resources and serving our shareholders' interests. So come back. The board is considering introducing two new performance measures to address the objective of utilizing all our resources. These are revenue and operating profit per square meter. Revenue and operating profit per square meter. The CEO also wants an evaluation of these two measures, explaining how they might address this aspect of the mission, what those ratios currently are, and how they could be used to manage business performance. There is information in Appendix 1 to assist in this work. If you are aware or you are not updated, this is the latest style of APM questions. This is latest style. Please understand it very clearly. This is the latest style of APM questions where requirement is included within the scenario. Requirement of the question is included within the flow of scenario, not at the end of the question. Requirement, that is an old style. That was old style. That question was asked in the requirement, but according to the latest format, according to the updated format, the detailed question requirements are included within the scenario, just like as I am highlighting it. And you can see this all is the requirement. This all is the requirement. Can you see it? Okay, this is all requirement, my dear. Okay, at the end of the question, this is not fully given. There is just simple point mentioned, but this is the complete requirement. Okay, got it? Are you able to highlight it? Are you able to highlight it? There are 4 colors available. Okay, good, perfect. Move on. Next. There have been disagreements between Flax divisional management about capital allocation. Disagreements about Flax divisional management about capital allocation. Now, disagreement, you need to understand this one. The divisions have had capital made available to them. Both sets of divisional managers always seem to want more capital in order to open more stores, but historically have been reluctant to invest in refurbishing existing stores. This is a new understanding of this story. This is a new understanding of this story, and you must be clear on this given information, and you should also have a broad understanding about the implications of this information. This is called commercial acumen skill. This is called commercial acumen skill. What is commercial acumen skill? In simple words, if I explain to you, when you are given a piece of information, okay, then you have to look at the broad consequences, the broad implications, the broad understanding, the wider, you have to link and connect the wider dots with that information. Okay, I hope you are understanding all these explanation which I am trying to make. Okay, so the divisions have had capital made available to them. Both sets of divisional managers always seem to want more capital in order to open more stores, but historically have been reluctant to invest in refurbishing existing stores. Being performance managers, you should know the broader implications of this thinking. Okay, mean opening new store, they are investing in new stores, but they are reluctant to invest in refurbishing existing stores. Next, the board is unsure of capital spending priorities given that the press comments about FLAC included criticism of the rundown look of a number of their stores. Yes, this is a new understanding now. The board is unsure of capital spending priorities given that the press comments about FLAC included criticism of the rundown look of a number of their stores. The board has concerns about the effectiveness of the current divisional performance measure of divisional operating profit and is considering the possibility of replacing this with residual income in the light of these problems. What problems are there? You should be very clear here. What are those problems that the board is considering to change the performance measure now to RI? What are those problems? The problem is that the wrong allocation of capital, wrong allocation of the capital. Okay, so considering the possibility of replacing this with residual income in the light of these problems, the CEO wants an assessment of this proposed change. Okay, there is no need to calculate current values. There is no need to calculate current value. So what CEO wants an assessment of proposed change. My dear, this is the requirement. This is the requirement. CEO wants an assessment of this proposed change. What is the proposed change? The proposed change is that change in performance measure from operating profit to RI. Operating profit to RI. So you have to make an assessment or evaluation, by the way. Okay, assessment or evaluation are interchangeable verbs. Next, the CEO, number 5, the CEO has proposed to the board that a new information system be introduced. She wishes to spend $100 million on creating a loyalty card program with a data warehouse collecting information from customers' cards regarding their purchases. Okay, loyalty cards, you would be aware of that type of loyalty cards, because most of, like these days, retailers, lot of retailers, they use loyalty cards. Okay, so loyalty card program with a data warehouse collecting information from customer cards regarding their purchases. Her plan is to use this information to target advertising, product range choices, and price offers more efficiently than at present. She had also heard that big data can be used to analyze unstructured information such as social media discussions. Yes, if you know about the big data, you should know the 3 types of the big data: structured, semi-structured, and unstructured. Okay, and then you should also know that the social media text data and the like image data, voice data, most of that is normally considered as unstructured data or unstructured information. So you need to understand this whole context. She had also heard that big data can be used to analyze unstructured information such as social media discussions, social media discussions, social media responses, such as comments, or people respond to a post, people respond to a photo, people respond to a video, and there are several responses. We know about that: happy and angry and love and these type of things, these type of different responses. Okay, like, or these type of things. Okay, so all that is unstructured data, so such as social media discussions. She would like you to explain the meanings of big data. This is the requirement. This is the requirement. She would like you to explain the meanings of big data and how the proposed new information system and other unstructured data technology can help improve performance at FLAC. So first you have to explain about the big data, and then you have to make like the point that how the big data analytics, especially unstructured data technologies, and the new information system can help improve performance. This is not something general discussion. This is a more linked with performance, linked with performance. Okay, so now we go in the appendix. Here is the appendix. You can see. You can zoom it. Board performance report is given here in the form of kind of Excel sheet. It is Excel sheet. So here is a metro budget, metro actual, hyper budget, hyper actual, FLAC budget, FLAC actual prior year, change on prior year. All data is rounded in $1,000. Okay, $1,000. It is rounding. You also have to consider this one as well. Rounding, presentation, overload of data. All this you have to consider when you are going to evaluate a performance report, by the way. So revenue is given. So revenue is broken down into, now I am explaining to you how you need to read a report. So revenue is broken down into categories of food, clothes, other goods, and here's a total figure for the revenue. Okay, it's it's given for budget, metro, mean because there are two types of stores. There are metro and hyper, and there's a total for the flag, sum of both for the total for the flag. So here is the actual data for the flag. Flag is the name of the group. It's a change on year total, then cost of sales. So cost of sale is given, gross profit is given, gross margins are given. Margins are, you can see these are the actual margins for metro, actual margin for hyper, actual margin for the flag total. Then other operating costs are given. Then operating profit is given, operating profit. Then operating margins are given. Okay, just like as gross profit margin, here are operating margins. Then finance cost is given. You can see that there is no mention of finance cost under divisions. There is no divisional finance cost. Finance cost is given. Finance cost is charged to flag. Finance cost is charged to flag. Here, you can link with other points. During the scenario discussion, we have gone through a point where it is mentioned that the store managers, they keep opening new stores instead of refurbishing existing. That might be one of the reasons because finance cost, they are not charged with finance cost. If they were charged with the finance cost of opening new, they might have considered refurbishing existing one, improving existing one rather than opening the new stores. Here is the group profit before tax, then tax amount, then group profit after tax is given. Total shareholder return is given here. Total shareholder TSR. This is called TSR, total shareholder return. You should know how to calculate it. So it is under actual flag and the flag prior year actual. Return on capital employed is given. Rows, it is calculated for all. Rows, number of stores. Number of stores for metro is 533 and hyper is 208. Total square meters, total square meter are 161,227 and 841, 29967. Why hyper has the bigger total square meters and why metro has the smaller square meters? Why? What is the reason? What is the reason? Although it has fewer stores, but its square meters are bigger. Why? What do you think? Stores are less, but the area is more. Yes, because the hyper stores, they are run on the large areas as compared to the express stores. Express stores are, metro stores are open within the city. Within the city, there would be limited space. Okay. All right. So this is the appendix. And here is the requirement. It is now 1st September 20x5. Write a report to the CEO of FLAC to respond to her instructions for work on the following areas. Number 1 requirement is current performance report. You see here, only 3 words, the whole requirement has been mentioned, only 3 words, current performance report. And how many marks are there? 14 marks are there. Current performance report. There is nothing else mentioned here. So where is the requirement? We go back into the detailed requirement. Requirement number two new performance measures. That's it? Yes, that's it. There is no detailed requirement about what you have to do with two performance measures. There is nothing else. Okay, where is the requirement? Requirement is within the scenario, 8 marks. Number three, changing the divisional performance measures. That's it. Where is the detailed requirement? Detailed requirement is within the scenario, 8 marks. Big data, proposed information system, and other unstructured data technology, 10 marks. Detailed requirement is within the scenario. Professional marks will be awarded for the demonstration of skill in communication, analysis, and evaluation, skepticism, and commercial acumen in your answers. This is the new style, the new world of advanced performance management, that 20 marks now will be for professional skill marks, just like as SPL. This is a big, by the way, this is a big change in advanced performance management. Okay, that now you have to write for 80 marks and there are 20 professional skills marks. Basically, this is in line with the overall strategy of ACCA as well, where they are transforming. They want to make you more professional. They want to develop these skills while you are studying. Okay, because the business world, the economy, the overall economic systems, how everything is changing. So ACCA wants you as well to keep yourself updated, to prepare you for this new world of business, this new economy. Okay, so that's why first these 20 marks were included in the SBL, and now other optional papers also included. Okay, so 10 marks are here in the question number 1, 10 marks. You can see professional marks will be awarded for the demonstration of skill in communication, analysis, and evaluation, skepticism, and commercial acumen in your answer. 10 marks. All right. Okay. So if we now to understand these requirements, okay, one easy thing in the advanced performance management, okay, unlike SBL, because in SBL, to find the information is really challenge sometime. Okay, in SBL, to find information in order to write your answer, it is challenge. Why? Because sometimes information is not available at all, and you have to use your broad understanding, broad commercial acumen, and sometimes information is scattered within multiple exhibits. So you have to go through those exhibits again and again to find out the piece of information. But this is not the case, luckily, in advanced performance management, because in all the information about a particular task requirement is given within a particular exhibit. There is no difficulty at all in APM to find information, what you have to do. Are you understanding all this explanation, what I am trying to explain? Are you understanding all this?
Yes, sir.
Every student? Very good. So in advanced performance management, there is no problem. For example, let's go into the requirement number 1, which is current performance report. Here is exhibit number 2. Exhibit number 2 gives us complete detail about what we have to do. So we need to read it again. Okay. Chief Executive Officer has asked for an evaluation of current performance report to see if it is fit for the purpose of achieving company mission of being. Here is the technical point, and here is where most of the students or lot of students make mistake. Lot of students make mistake. Lot of students make mistake. Please, you make sure you learn from it and don't repeat those mistakes. This is requirement about company report, performance report. Okay. Chief Executive Officer has asked for an evaluation of board performance report to see if it is fit for the purpose of achieving company mission of being. Here is the mission. So I think there is very clearly you are told what you have to do. You have to check, you have to find whether current performance report addresses current performance report addresses company mission or not. And here is the mission. First choice for customers. By providing the right balance of quality and service at a competitive price, we will achieve this through acting in the long-term interest of our stakeholders, earning customer loyalty, utilizing all our resources, and serving our shareholder interests. Okay, all right. So you have to check whether this current performance report addresses the mission or not. And here is the report. Now, let's talk about a common mistake which students make, a common mistake. Tell me, is there any hint? Is there any specific word that asks you to calculate report performance? Is there any hint that require you to calculate performance? Is there any hint or anything about that? Exactly. There is, you don't have to calculate. This is common mistake students make. This is not about performance itself. You should be clear. When you are required to evaluate performance report, you are not being asked to evaluate performance itself. Rather, you are required to evaluate the report, evaluate the measures, evaluate the numbers, but not about performance. This is what you are going to make it clear in today's class. Okay, today class, that this question is about performance report, but not about performance itself. Okay, the second requirement is 2 new performance measures. So where is the requirement about that? Here is the requirement. This is the requirement. So board is considering introducing 2 new performance measures to address the objective of utilizing all our resources. These are a revenue and operating profit square meter. The CEO also wants, here is the requirement, the CEO also wants an evaluation of these 2 measures, explaining how they might address this aspect of the mission. Which aspect of the mission? Which aspect of the mission? Utilizing all our resources. Which aspect of the mission? Utilizing all our resources. So, which might address this aspect of the mission? What those ratios currently are? So, first requirement is about whether these 2 measures address this aspect of mission, number 1. Number 2, what those ratios currently are. Second requirement, and how they could be used to manage business performance. Number 3. So basically, there are 3 requirements in this requirement. Guys, are you clear on this? Are you clear? There is information in Appendix 1 to assist in this work. By the way, are you clear about this detailed requirement or the 3 components of this requirement? Very good. Perfect. Perfect. This is how you need to read and understand the advanced performance management questions. Next is about changing the divisional performance measure. Why I am taking time on the question? Because after this, we will go straight on the answer. I will open the answer. Okay, then I will only focus on the answer. So I will not go back to the question. But because that's why I requested you to open the question in your own systems, so that when I am discussing the answer and when I ask you to go back to the question, so you can be easily going back to the question and coming to the answer. In this way, you will keep connected. Changing the divisional performance measures. So where is the requirement? Here is the requirement. Changing the divisional performance measures. So what is the change in the divisional performance measures? Change the performance measure is the board has concerns. This, read it all clearly. The board has concern about the effectiveness of the current divisional performance measure of divisional operating profit. Mean their current divisional performance measure is operating profit. Now, let's take few moments and discuss this measure. If you have studied this paper, Advanced Performance Management, little bit in detail, then you would know the weakness of profit-based measures. Okay, you should know the issues, the problems with the profit-based measures, and particularly if a measure like as operating profit is used. Okay, these are short-term measures. We all know that profit-based measures typically are considered as short-term based measures, short-term focused measures. Okay, so you see here, their current performance measure for divisional performance is operating profit, and replacing it with residual income. Although residual income is also profit-based measure, my dear, residual income is also profit-based measure, but the difference between these two is, what is the difference? That residual income consider cost of capital as well. Operating profit do not consider cost of capital, but residual income consider cost of capital, okay, by deducting the cost of capital out of the operating profit. Okay, so residual income they are replacing, and CEO wants an assessment of this proposed change. Assessment of this proposed change. All right, and the last requirement is big data, proposed information system, and other unstructured data technology. Where is the requirement? Here is the requirement. Requirement is here. She would like you to explain the meaning of big data and how the proposed new information system and other unstructured data technology can help improve performance at FLAC. So here is the complete requirement. Here is the complete requirement for fourth. Okay, got it? Hope you are clear. Take 5 to 6 minutes quickly, 5 to 6 minutes for your own reading of the question, and then we go on the answer. Okay, 5 to 6 minutes you have to read and go through, and then we open the answer. You have a few minutes, quickly go through the question, and then we're starting the answer. Okay, so ready? Let's start. The answer. So part one is about performance reporting at flag, 14 marks. Performance reporting at flag. You are going to write a report. Okay. Write a report to the CEO of flag to respond to her instructions for work on the following areas. All right. So, two, who is the audience of the report? Audience of the report is, who is the audience of report? Flag CEO. Who is the audience of the report? Flag CEO. From, who is the writer? Who is writing this report? Performance management or management accountant or performance management specialist or management accountant, whatever you want to write. If there is no specific designation given in the question, then you can use either. Management accountant. Then the next one, date, you can specify the same date. It is now 1st September 20x5. So you can mention the same date. Subject. Subject is important for any report. So what is suitable subject you think we can mention here? Suitable subject. A subject must reflect all the ongoing work, all the ongoing projects, all the ongoing issues or challenges. So suggest me a suitable subject for this report, please, quickly. Performance assessment, performance reporting and management. There is no performance management, Narmada. No, because in this whole scenario, there's more focus on performance measurement. You understand, my dear? If you look at all the four measures, mean all the four requirements, there is a focus on performance measurement. Okay, so you can make it simple. Performance measurement at flag. At flag. Okay, done. Next, move on. Introduction is very important element of any report. Introduction, you can call it as sometimes executive summary, although executive summary of a report is quite bit lengthy. all like it would span over 1 or 2 pages sometimes, depending on the report. But anyway, introduction is important part of any report. Okay, in introduction, you have to write a summary of overall work. Write a summary of overall work, or in other words, you can say overall view of what you are going to do. Okay, you have to mention here in this introduction. So what we can write in the introduction here, we can start like this. This report begins with evaluating current performance reporting at flag. Okay, at flag. Next, the report, it's mentioned 2 new performance measures. So then the report evaluates or includes an evaluation of 2 new proposed performance measures. Okay, measures. Further, third task is about change in the divisional performance measures. So it mentioned here, further the report, or further it assesses the changes to the divisional performance measurement, divisional performance measures, assesses the changes to the divisional performance measure at the end, or in the end, or at the last, or the report ends with explaining big data, new information system, and unstructured data technologies. Report ends with explaining how big data, new information system and unstructured data technologies would help flag to improve performance. All right. So this is how you need to write introduction. That is important part of the report, introduction. All right. I hope you have got it clear. Now move on. First of all, you are going in this 14 marks part, you are going to evaluate performance report. So the big question that can be in your mind, how to start this one. So the best way when you are going to evaluate a performance report, you can start with explaining the criteria for a good report. Hello. Explaining criteria for a good report. So what is the criteria for a good report? It should be on your fingertips. You need to learn and memorize it. So criteria for a good report is that, number one, that a good report is the one that addresses the overall mission, objective, or aim of the business or the organization. Addresses overall aim or mission or vision or objectives, whatever, if you want to expand it, objective or strategy of organization, whether that is a business or not-for-profit organization, whatever it is, okay, it should address the organization mission. Number one, that is a good report. What is meaning of addressing? Here, lot of students, unfortunately, they don't make it clear understanding from this. Addressing mean, listen please carefully, addressing mean whether there are appropriate performance measures, whether there are appropriate performance measures, I'm repeating it, whether there are appropriate performance measures in the report addressing the mission of the organization. Okay, addressing the components of mission of the organization. Here you will understand it. So number one criteria is that the report should address the overall mission, vision, and objective of the organization. Number two, contains appropriate information for decision making. Who are the decision makers? For example, here the decision makers are the board level. So a good report is the one, that has sufficient appropriate information to support the decision makers, okay, in making their decisions, in solving the current ongoing issues. Yes, you need to think it big, think it broad. Decision makers, what type of decisions are they making? What type of concerns are there? What types of issues? What type of threats to the organization are there? What type of opportunities are there? What type of strengths are there? So there are a lot of ways you can expand your thinking about this point. So let me make it short because we have limited time. That there should be plenty of information in the report that would help the decision makers or the executive management or the senior management in making their decisions, okay, because they review this report after 1 year. You should also keep in mind this is the annual review of the report. So this report must have important and critical information. What? Important and critical information, not just wasting time of them and they make inappropriate and inaccurate decisions. Okay, so here I am adding something for you. Quality of information. Quality of information determines quality of decisions. Okay, quality of information determines quality of decisions. I hope you are understanding. So imagine this is an annual report. This is used for annual review. So you can think it now. Number 3 point is that how it is presented. How it is presented, whether there is overlook. Here you need to look at few things when we talk about presentation of the report. Okay, whether how the information is presented, whether there is a lot and there is information waste. You might have heard about term. Have you heard this term, information waste? Hello? Have you heard about term information junk and information waste? Have we used this term when we study the information system section of advanced performance management? In that section, normally I discuss information waste. When information is not presented in the right way, when information is not presented in the accurate and appropriate way according to the need of the audience, then there is a chance, there is a risk of information waste, because important information is remain, you can say, buried. Important information remain hidden or is lost when there is so much unnecessary information is presented. Understand? So the point here is well presented, how information is presented, whether there is a like information overload, whether there's a commentary and narration available or not for the numbers, how numbers and figures are presented, are they rounded off or not? So these 3-4 items you need to see in the presentation of the report. Okay, I hope these 3 points you have well understood now. Move on. So let's start with, first of all, now listen carefully. I have presented this answer in bullet points just because I want to keep the answer short and concise. That's why I have tried to use the bullets. But in exam, you don't have to use bullets. You have to use paragraph approach. What? Paragraph approach you have to use in exam. Paragraphs. Hello, are you understood? Are you understood that this bullet point or bullet approach is not recommended? Use paragraph approach. Well understood or not? Please don't use bullets. Bullet is only used like in slides. In slides we use bullet approach, but not in the other papers. So avoid it. Okay, so let's start. First one is addressing the mission or not. Mission or not. Look and go back and check the mission. What is the mission of the organization? What is the mission of the organization? Mission is quite long. Okay, let me read the mission. Mission explains. Mission is the first choice for customers. So first choice for customers mean focus on customers by providing the right balance of quality and service at a competitive price. Quality and service at competitive price. There are 3 other things. Number 1, customers. Number 2, quality. Number 3, service and competitive price. 4, we will achieve this through acting in the long-term interest of our stakeholders. So this is number 5 component of this mission, long-term interest of our stakeholders. Earning customer loyalty. How they will achieve this long-term interest of our stakeholders? Number 1, earning customer loyalty. Number 2, utilizing all our resources. Number 3, serving our shareholder interest. So this is the way you can break this mission into components. This is a skill. This is art, yet you need to understand when you are going to write your Advanced Performance Management paper, how to break the mission or vision into components. Okay, so address the mission partly, the report, no mention of customers. No mention of customers. If you go into the appendix 1, there is no mention of customers are included in the first part of mission statement to be the first choice. There is nothing mentioned in the report like that to be the first choice. No mention in the report. No information on market share or repeat business by customer as a measure, a key measure for retailer. Yes, repeat business is a key measure for retailer. Of course, because retail business success depends upon how customer is repeatedly purchasing. This is important. Customer loyalty is very important. Customer loyalty is very important, critical success factor for any retail store. So that is the point here. No measure for that. Okay, customer loyalty or repeat business. There's no measure for that. No measure for customer loyalty as mentioned in the first strategy. Yes. In the second part of the mission, it's in the second part of the mission states, we will achieve this through acting in the long-term interest of our stakeholders, earning customer loyalty, utilizing all our resources. I am reading the question. Number 2, exhibit number 2. Earning customer loyalty, utilizing all our resources and serving our shareholders' interest. So there is no measure for this strategy. There is no measure for this strategy. Next, no use of external data and no measure for external factors such as utilizing on the report only has internal data. Report only has internal data. Internal numbers. Numbers mean, I would say, quantitative numbers or figures. Okay, there is no data on that, no external data. That is a weakness. Report only has internal numbers. That is a weakness in the report. A weakness in the report. There should be a balance. There should be a balance between, I hope you are taking all these notes, I hope, between internal and external measures. External measures or data. But here only internal measures are given. If you want to have a look again, you can open the appendix 1 where the report is given. Okay, so there is no external data. Next point, the report provides no measures of the balance of quality, service, and price other than through the historic growth in revenue. You know, in the exhibit number 2, in the mission, it is mentioned by providing right balance of quality and service at a competitive price. So if they are mentioning this one in the mission, there must be a measure for that. There must be a measure for that. Now, here again, a new discussion can be started. What is that? These are qualitative measures. If those measures were included, and yes, in another question, examiner can include such measures as well, and requiring you another type of question. For example, difficulty in measuring and interpreting qualitative information. My dear, yes, in the past paper, there are questions on these type of topics as well. There are questions. Okay, the problems of measuring, processing, and interpreting qualitative performance measures. There is problem. Okay, but anyway, in this question, there is no measure. If those measures were given, there would have been a different type of question you can expect. So there is no measure of quality, service, and competitive price. Next, no benchmarking with industry. There is benchmarking, but the benchmarking with past number. Okay, past number. There is no benchmarking with industry. Why this we need to mention here? No benchmarking, because this can be used to compare performance against outside. This can be used, okay, competitors, customers' expectations to measure customer loyalty, or with market share, or with market performance. This can be used to measure performance or to compare against market or competitors. Market or competitors. Okay, so there is no benchmark for industry. Next, no direct measure for resource utilization. There is in the mission statement, there is point utilizing all our resources. So there is no measure that focus on how are we utilizing our resources. So this is the point. No direct measure for resource utilization. As mentioned in the second strategy. What is the first strategy? First strategy is customer loyalty. Second strategy is utilizing all our resources. So, as mentioned in the second strategy of utilizing resources, require that key resources be identified. What are the key resources? This has not been identified. And how are we measuring those key resources? There is no such measure. Okay, key resources and stores such as capital invested and staff. Yes, now you are given another idea that for a retail store, for a retail business, its two key resources are its store space and its staff. Store space and its staff. So how are they utilizing both? There is no measure. Revenue and profit per square meter can be introduced as measures for store, and comparison with competitors will indicate the efficiency of their use. Okay, so here this is called suggestion. This is called suggestion or recommendation. Suggest. You can make your suggestion, but be careful. Sometimes there would be a separate question for recommendation. Okay, sometime there would be a separate question for recommendation, especially when you are working or when there is a question on balance scorecard or performance pyramid or building block model. You need to be very careful, because in the one requirement, you can be asked evaluate performance using performance pyramid. In the second part, you can be asked okay, now make recommendation. So if that type of question is there, then you should not make recommendation in the first part. If you will do, then means you are repeating and just wasting time. But if there is no separate question on making suitable recommendation for performance measures, then you can make it. Hello? Have you understood this very important point? Have you understood this one? This is important. This is important for you to understand. Okay, where you have to make recommendation and suggestion and where you have to avoid. Okay, here you can make, because there is no separate question on making suggestion or recommendation, so you can include to make your answer more impactful, more powerful. Okay, so move on. I'm repeating it. No direct measure for resource utilization. As mentioned in the second strategy of utilizing resources, required that the key resources be identified. Key resources are stores and staff. Revenue and profit per square meter can be introduced as a measure for store and comparison with competitor. This is called benchmarking. This is called benchmarking. Comparison. This is called benchmarking. With competitors will indicate the efficiency of their use. By the way, this is a common practice in almost all retail industry. For your knowledge purpose, I am writing it. Okay, a common measure in almost all retail industries. Retail industry does not mean just the supermarkets. Even retail industry, you can say about, for example, an airline, a bus company, or even a theater company. Okay, so you can use in even travel industries as well. You can use even in the entertainment industries as well. Okay, and we talk about travel mean, for example, air company, okay, airline, a bus company, a rail company, they can use these measures, okay, revenue per staff, or profit per staff member. Okay, clear? And then they benchmark it. Benchmarking is common. We are talking about basically benchmarking with their industry, with competitors. With industry average, with competitors. Normally, competitors also provide these numbers. Okay, competitors also provide these numbers. This is an other question. This is an other area in performance management or performance advanced. This is an other area in APM. The challenges of competitors benchmarking. The challenges of competitors benchmarking. Normally, competitors may share their some numbers, but they would not share their internal or processes or operation related data. Okay, so there would be challenges, there would be problem if you are going to compare with your competitors, your performance. Okay, all right, so. And there's no measure for staff performance. Already told you for retail industry, the two very important KPIs are their store space and their staff. So in this, there is no measure for store space. There's no measure for staff. Next. No measure for staff cost. More detail now. Staff costs are not shown in the trading account. Although a more sophisticated measure such as revenue per employee is a commonly used metric and would address this. This is called suggest. You can suggest here again. Suggest appropriate measure. Suggest appropriate. Means where you find that there is a missing, you can make suggestion. Okay? Where you suggest appropriate measure, where there is missing KPI. Now suggest appropriate one. Appropriate one. No measure for staff. Staff costs are not shown in the trading account. Although a more sophisticated measure such as revenue per employee is commonly used metric and would address this. Okay, next. The report clearly addressing third strategy. This is called strength of the report. So far, we have been discussing weaknesses in the report. Okay, this is the strength of the report. The report clearly addressing third strategy of serving shareholder interest as it supplies two helpful measures. What are they? It provides two helpful measures. Number one, TSR. Yes, it does measure TSR. TSR, total shareholder return, TSR, and return on capital employed. Return on capital employed. Okay, so it has two measures, TSR plus ROAS. However, most shareholders will want comparison with benchmark returns within the retail sector. Yes, that is another very powerful reasoning, very powerful argument. They have provided there, if you go into the appendix, in the appendix, it mentioned that TSR is 3.1% or 3.10% in FLAC actual, and the last year it was 2.7%. I mean, there is significant increase. And the ROAS, return on capital employed, last year it was 13.2%. This year, 13.4%. But this comparison is not, you can say, broad. This is a more of narrow. This is just comparing last year. This is a good, it is making comparison with the last year. But if there were external benchmarking available, it would have been more useful, especially industry average. That is very important when you are measuring performance of your company. By the way, if you are working in an analyst firm, or if you are working in equity fund or equity management or any other investment firm you are working, then you know it better that how companies' performance is compared with their industries and the leading players in the market as well. Okay, you need to compare it with multiple factors. All right, so this is a weak side of this, that there is no retail sector measures available. Please learn it clearly. Okay, and the market more widely, since these represent their alternatives. Okay, these represent their alternatives. Next, the criticism of the company management as being short-term. Here is now reference. This is called making reference criticism. This is called reference. And by making reference, you are making your answer more impactful, getting more marks. Because, by the way, this is also the requirement for skills as well. Also a requirement for skills. Also a requirement for professional skills. You are making your point more impactful argument. Okay, so for communication skill, for commercial acumen, for the analysis, for evaluation, okay, and for skepticism. Reference. The criticism of the company management as being short-term is reflected in the performance reporting. Reflected in the performance reporting, yes. The report only contains for comparison budget information. The report only contains comparison with budget information and the previous year figure, that's it. There is no long-term forecast or information on future capital investment. Yes, and other big weakness that there is no long-term measure. So here is a suggestion for you. Here is a suggestion for you. A report a good report, a good performance report is the one that has a balance of measures, between short and long term. There should be short term and there should be long term measures. What are the short term and what are the long term? Let me make it more simple for you. Profit-based measures are all short-term. I hope you all know about that. Profit-based measures are all short-term. Even it is ROS, even it is RI, it is GP margin, it is operating margin, profit margin, all these are short-term measures. So what are long-term measures? What are long-term measures? By the way, TSR is considered as long-term measure, one of. Further long-term measures are economic value added is a long-term measure, EVA. Other long-term measures are more related to quality, more related to staff training. These are also called value, performance value or value measures. You have used word value measures because these focus on long-term value maximization, quality measures, like customer satisfaction measures, staff training measures, staff development measures, staff motivation measures, okay, research and development measures, innovation measures, new product or new features measures, all these technology measures, all these are long-term value drivers. Okay. So far, we have discussed the strengths and weaknesses. Let's talk about the other feature of the report, the third feature about presentation. Here we go on the presentation side. Although revenue is broken down into broad product categories, no further information about growth within these categories, nor the margins being earned is supplied, mean how much margin in each. It is not mentioned. From the presentation side, the data is clear and in a form which would be easily recognizable to those used to reading accounts. Okay, used to reading accounts. So presentation is effective. overall presentation is effective. Another weakness in this report is no narrative commentary. No narrative commentary, because it only has numbers. Only has numbers. Just I want you to make it more clear. What is commentary meaning? Only has numbers. No explanation. No explanation. Of these numbers and changes in these numbers. There is nothing mentioned like that. Okay, so no narrative commentary is provided, which would highlight the key features in the report, such as major deviations from the budget or performance well outside industry norms. There should be a comment. There should be a comment on each of the 5 areas within the mission, because the mission divided into 5 areas. Each of the 5 areas within the mission and strategies in terms of how we are addressing each, as well as comments about specific material issues arising in the period covered. So let's have a quick discussion of this next time to prepare you for the next time. When you are going to evaluate a performance report, there are few points that you need to learn now very clearly when you are going to evaluate performance report. Number one, you have to look whether that report addresses mission of the organization or not. This means, are there appropriate KPIs? Are there appropriate measures that addresses each component of the mission statement? So for that, I would suggest you, for this point, I am explaining the first point, addresses mission. I would suggest you break the mission into components, and explain or evaluate each component one by one, explaining whether there is a KPI, whether there is a KPI or measure to address that component or element of the mission, whether there's a KPI or measure to address that component or element of the mission, and how effective. How you also have to check how effective is that KPI or measure. So you have to check two things. Number one thing you have to check whether there is a KPI. And if yes, there is a KPI, then you have to check whether that is effective or not. So in this way, the first point is clear, that you have to check whether there are appropriate KPIs to address mission and vision. Number two, you have to check how helpful is that for decision makers. Here you will look at whether there are internal and external measures, whether there are short and long-term measures, whether there are qualitative and quantitative measures. So these are important 3 things when it comes to decision making. Are you taking notes of all this? When it comes to decision making, you have to look at 3 things. Number one, short-term versus long-term. Number 2, internal and external. And number 3, qualitative and quantitative. Qualitative and quantitative mean financial and non-financial. Quantitative measures. All right. Okay. So this is about decision making, helpful for decision makers. And number 3, presentation of the report. So in presentation of the report, you have to check how much information is presented, how well those information are presented, whether there is a commentary available or not, etc. Okay, so that's it from this performance reporting component. Any question from your side? You have any question? You have any question? Okay, move on. Part 2. Part 2 is about new measures. So how you should start. If we look at the question, the question is about CEO wants an evaluation of these 2 measures. What are these 2 measures? Revenue and operating profit per square meter. Revenue and operating profits per square meter. The CEO also wants an evaluation of these 2 measures, explaining how they might address this aspect of mission, what those ratios currently are, and how they could be used to manage business performance. 8 marks, 3 factors. Okay, so first of all, we start with explaining. Start with explanation. Revenue and operating profit per square meter reflect the efficiency and utilization of the key capital assets to generate them, reflecting the aim of utilizing all resources. However, they do not address all resources which the business uses. This is called, you explain something, but also discuss the shortcoming or weakness in that. It says that, okay, it's good to have the revenue and operating profit per square meter measures because these will help to measure the efficiency and utilization of the capital assets, but these don't cover all resources. They don't cover all resources. There are other resources as well, such as staff is also a very important resource. These measures reflect the importance. You see how you make point. So reflect the importance of the use of store space, which is an area which the business does not give sufficient attention, as is reflected in the problem with divisional performance measures. Okay, focus on these measures will require addressing issues of volume of sales and profitability of those sales. Focus on these measures will require addressing issues of volume of sale and the profitability of these sales. All right, now we need to measure it. We need to measure because in the question, it also require what those ratios currently are. You have to measure it. You have to measure it. So how to measure? You need this table to develop. Okay, this table for metro, for hyper, for flag. So total square meter, you can start with total square meter you have mentioned, and now revenue per square meter, you calculate it. Okay, please make your own calculation. Don't just rely on these numbers. These numbers may be incorrect. So please check your own calculations. You have to calculate two. Number one, revenue per square meter, and number two, operating profit per square meter. You have to do your own calculation. Quick, you do it your own. You have to do your own. You have to make your own effort. Don't just rely on these calculated numbers. Please do it. And you will do in the Excel or in the spreadsheet. In the spreadsheet, you will calculate it. Open spreadsheet and calculate these numbers. Okay, you can take 5, 6, 7 minutes, no problem. I can wait for you because it's a part of the practice. Make your own calculations. Using spreadsheet. Okay, you have 6 minutes total, 5 to 6 minutes, quick. Please must try this calculation. It's a part of practice plus preparation. The more you will do these calculations, the more confidence you will have. You will feel more ease. 2, 3 minutes more you have, please quickly do it. Okay, so you have done it. No need to send because it's just for your own learning. It's a part of just on practice because the answer is already worked, but I want you to recalculate it. Okay, so you have to make now commentary. No measure for staff cost are mentioned, although similar measures of revenue and operating profit per employee could also be introduced in order to reflect these human resources. Okay, so here we mentioned that we only have calculated the one side, the one important resource, that is space, but we have not done calculation for staff, and the similar measures for staff can also be calculated, means staff revenue per staff and operating profit per staff. Okay, now discuss weakness in these measures, drawbacks in these measures, drawback in these measures. The two types of store at FLAC will have different impact on these measures. Okay, the two type of stores, and by the way, both type of stores have different strategies, This is the point which you need to understand. Both stores have different strategies, so these measures would result in different outcomes. This is very technical point, please understand it. For example, small metro stores may be capable of earning higher margins as they are convenient to customers while selling lower volumes. Yes, small metro stores, they have small space but more convenient to customers, so customer would easily go in those stores and purchase. So like okay, so they are making more use of their space, small space. Hyper stores may concentrate on selling in volume, large volume, because customers have to specifically plan their visit to go to the hyper market. Just imagine you have to plan specially to go to Intermart or Super U or Jumbo. Okay, you have to plan, you have to specially drive and go over there. But convenience stores may be in the street or maybe in the nearby. Okay, so hyper stores may concentrate on selling in volume to customers who come to buy in bulk. However, in terms of the overall performance of the business, it is essential that FLAC sells in high volume as it is a low margin business. It is low margin business, but it must not sacrifice profitability. In effect, buying customer revenue by selling at or near a loss. Okay, so you can see, you can even comment on performance as well. A little comment on performance. As well. All right, so this is about part 2. Part 3. Change in divisional performance measures. If we go and check the question is about the board has concern about the effectiveness of the current divisional performance measure of divisional operating profit, is considering the possibility of replacing this with residual income in the light of these problems. The CEO wants an assessment of this proposed change. The CEO wants an assessment of this proposed change. There is no need to calculate, but just assess. Assess means evaluate. So here we are evaluating. So first of all, this is the headline you need to make. This is the heading. This is the heading, change in divisional performance measure. Okay, the current measure of so how to start? This is also important for you to learn. So start with current one. Start with current measure. Start with current measure. The current measure of divisional operating profit reflects the trading in the period. You see how you need to start? This is what learning for you. The current measure of divisional operating profit reflect the trading in the period. This is a weakness in current measure. It is not the direct measure. It is not the direct measure addressing capital being used by the divisions and is distorting the behavior of divisional managers. This might be the reason they are investing in new stores rather spending to refurbish existing stores. Okay, I am writing these points for your learning. A weakness in the current measure. Might be the reason why store managers prefer opening new stores rather spending to refurbish existing. Now there are two more points we can discuss. We can elaborate it further. Okay. Number one reason can be one argument can be this would read spending on refurbishing. Okay, spending on repair and refurbish would increase cost and reduce profit margins. Hence, they don't want, okay, profit margins. Managers focus on maximizing the profit margins. Second argument number two, is because no finance cost of new investment, because they are not charged with finance cost of investing in new stores. Okay, that's might be another reason. That might be another reason that they are prefer more opening and investing, because they are not charged. I hope you are developing your learning. Basically, this is one of the reasons of changing my approach to answer. So I have now the more space, I have the more option to extend, explain, and help you understand better things. Okay, so you see how I am explaining and adding value to your knowledge and understanding. All right, next point. The managers are not investing in refurbishing their stores, which is causing the press and presumably customers to notice their rundown appearance. Means the stores started looking old, okay? Started looking old, requiring maintenance. Not investing. Why not investing? I have given you this reason, that because that would reduce their profits. Okay, next. They are prioritizing new stores expenditure over the refurbishment since they are not being charged for the use of that capital, as financing charges are deducted after operating profit calculated. So managers just feel free to spend. Okay, they may not be ideal. This may not be ideal since small spending on existing capital assets would yield higher returns than new spending. Okay, the proposal to change here is, so far in these points we have discussed the problem with existing one. In point number 1, 2, 3, 4, we have discussed the problem with existing one. Now we are starting discussion of the new one. Got it? The proposal to, this is about new. Proposal to change the divisional performance measure addresses the issue of not reflecting the capital used since residual income deducts an imputed interest charge. So the new measure would address the issue of not reflecting the capital. Divisions can then be set targets in terms of their RIS. So their focus will change from profit to RI. In this way, they would consider more spend, means they, because now they are going to be charged with the new investment, so they will be more cautious, they will be more careful, now managers will be more careful, will be, like you can say, will be concentrating on maximizing profit or return from existing. Okay, and here you can give reference of what gets measured gets done. What gets measured gets done. Previously, their performance was compared against the profit, but now RI. An advantage, here you need to discuss advantage. Advantage of RI is that the imputed interest rate can be charged to reflect the different risk of the divisions, though two divisions do not seem to have significant risk differences unless the geographical location introduce these, such as city centers and city edges. Okay, all right. So another drawback you can write, one drawback you can write, disadvantage you can write, disadvantage that RI still uses profit, okay, still profit-based measure, or it is profit-based measure, okay, encourages short-term performance or short-term focus. Encourages short-term focus because profits are subject to manipulation. You can add this one as well. Okay, so however, it is worth noting that RI can discourage investments. RI can discourage investment. As net book value of assets fall over time, RI automatically increases, and do not invest could become an attractive option to the manager. So this would turn on the other side. This would turn on the other side because over the time, the net book value of the assets will decrease, and as a result, cost of capital will also decrease, leading to decrease in cost of capital, leading to decrease in cost of capital. Do you know the meaning? The reason behind writing all these notes is to add value to your knowledge, to make your understanding broad and clear. Okay, so that you can write more impactful writing, more powerful answers, more deeper understanding for you. Basically, this is another objective of using this technique. Okay, so overall, the proposed change addresses existing problem. Overall, the proposed change addresses existing problem and would be considered a normal solution to measure individual performance in this industry. All right, for 8 marks, that is sufficient. You have used bullet points, but you have to use paragraphs. Move on. Next one. The question here is about, let's quickly read the question. The question is about, she would like you, the last sentence of exhibit number 5, she would like you to explain the meanings of big data and how the proposed new information system and other unstructured data technology can help improve performance at FLAC. Okay, so let's quickly go through. First of all, explain big data, because this is the question requirement. So big data, it should be on your fingertips. Big data. What is big data? Explaining here. Big data refers to massive, complex data sets that are rapidly generated and transmitted from a wide variety of sources. Wide mean diverse sources. Diverse range of sources. So big data is massive, big data is complex. Big data is massive, big data is complex data sets, repeated, rapidly, quickly, speedily generated and transmitted from wide variety or diverse range of sources. This is the definition. Move, next point. Big data sets can be structured. This is point number 2. Point number 2. First point should be on your fingertips, in your mind. Okay, data sets can be structured, semi-structured, and unstructured. And they are frequently analyzed to discover applicable patterns and insights about user and machine activity. So basically, you can learn and memorize up to this point. Up to this point. Okay, machine activity you can neglect. So you can avoid it and learn that how those structured, semi-structured, and unstructured data sets can be used to analyze the customer behavior. Can be used to analyze customer behavior. That is about big data. Next is about unstructured data in the question. So we need to now explain what is unstructured data. Is data that does not have a fixed form of structure. Yes, there is no proper pattern or structure in the unstructured data. Okay, let me make it more simple for you. When you put data in Excel file, for example, you are analyzing sales of a company with 100 shops in different geographical locations. Okay, 100 shops in different geographical location. One is in Mauritius, one is in Johannesburg, one is in Cape Town, one is in Durban, one is in like London, Paris. Okay, different locations it has. So you have the sale figure for all that. Understand? That is and you have the daily sale figure for all the 100 shops, daily sale figure. That is a structured data. Everything is in the order, and you can use that for your analysis. But unstructured is not like that. Unstructured data is that does not have a fixed form or structure. For example, images, videos, audios, text files, social media data, geospatial data, data from Internet of Things devices, such as your car sensors generating tremendous amount of data. Your car sensors, your home smart devices, our phones are generating massive data all the time. Weather data, all that is surveillance data, data from the cameras, transport systems, credit cards, everything you can see. Are examples of unstructured data. About 80 to 90% of data is unstructured. That is sufficient. You don't need to give this number in your exam. This is just for your knowledge and understanding. Okay, business processes analyze unstructured data for different purposes, like improving operation, improving performance of operations, or improving performance and increasing revenue. Unstructured data analysis is complex. Yes, my dear. Unstructured data is complex, mean the simple technologies cannot analyze. For example, Excel, simple Excel models cannot analyze the unstructured data. You need more advanced systems or softwares or technologies to analyze the unstructured data. Okay, require specialized techniques like unlike structured data, which is straightforward to store and analyze. Yes, this is also true. Storage of unstructured data is also very technical. Unlike structured data that can be easily stored in the Excel files, but unstructured, that's a massive and huge. You need other technologies. I hope you have got it clear now about big data and unstructured data. Move on, new information system. Big data analytics and new information system technologies can help to address the mission of LAC, as it will help. You see, we are now linking theory to the situation. What is situation? Or situation or question? Or question or scenario? What is that? How to improve performance. How to improve performance. Okay, so big data analytics and new information system technologies can help to address the mission of LAC, as it will help the board to understand customers better. How that will help? It will help to understand customer better, so improve their loyalty to the business. And this is the mission, part of mission. So here you can see how to link, how a new information system can help mission, can address mission, part of mission. Okay, the proposed new information system will collect data from customers' purchases and store it in that for data mining. This is another term which you need to understand. APM syllabus, APM question can ask you, because this is part of APM syllabus. That's why I have highlighted it. I have put it in bold so you can understand data mining. Unfortunately, I have limited time. I cannot explain it. Store it for data mining purposes in data warehouse. So data warehouse is another term that you need to learn because it's a part of APM syllabus, data warehouse. By focusing offers mean marketing offers or the product offerings, okay? Because customer data is collected. So with the help of the data, customer behavior will be clear. Customer behavior will be understood. Okay, customers are purchasing these type of products on these days. So this is the pattern. with the help, because there will be customer profile for each customer when loyalty cards are issued. If you have the same loyalty card, you know better. Okay, if you have the loyalty card from the Jumbo or Super U or Intermart, and when you purchase something from each time, they ask you for the loyalty card, they swipe it or they scan it. In this way, the customer profile is updated. So they can check how many purchases the customer has paid, because each customer has an account over there. So they can scan it throughout which product the customer has been purchased. On that basis, even they can offer you individual or personalized offerings as well. Have you understood this point? Hello? They can make you personalized or individualized offerings as well on that basis. So by focusing offers on those things which customer enjoy, Flag can enhance the brand and also take the opportunity to sell greater volumes alongside the offerings products. Data warehouse will allow data mining for relationships. For example, geographical preferences for products mean which product is more sold or more in demand in which particular region of the island or which region of the continent or country. Where is the, yes, it is also true, particular products in particular regions. Okay. Link between price offering and volume sold. When there will be unstructured data, analytics will open new worlds, new relationships. Unstructured data will open new insights and products which are often bought together. Okay, there are so many ways unstructured data can be analyzed, bought together, seasonality of product purchases, etc., etc. Okay, these relationships can then be used to address the CEO's 3 target areas of advertising, product range choices, and price offers. Okay, now let's talk about cost. Let's talk about cost. The data on each individual customer can be searched to profile customers, and identify their individual preferences. Marketing can then be targeted to groups of customers using products which they commonly buy. Okay, commonly buy, for example, commonly buy one product such as butter, for example. Okay, or a milk brand, for example. They just click on that milk brand and they can identify, okay, which customers are purchasing that. So they can make an offer to those customers. Data mining will also identify associated products. Those are often bought together so that offers can be grouped. For example, with a price reduction on buying a linked pair of products. So imagine the new world of data analytics. Okay, cost savings by more efficient advertising, because this advertising is more targeted advertising. This is targeted advertising. A problem in most retail businesses is the size of the product portfolio which they offer, since more products and potentially more suppliers require more effort to manage. New information system may allow a pair-to-style analysis, where the least profitable non-essential products are identified and can be cut from the product range with the help of pair-to analysis, because pair-to analysis can help to identify the most sold and least sold, most in demand, least in demand products. Okay, and the capital required will be significant at $100 million, equivalent of about opening 24 new stores at 4.2 million each. There will also be considerable annual running cost. However, the benefits could be significant, although quantifying them will be difficult as they depend on influencing customer behavior and so are not simply cutting cost. That's it about this wonderful question on our multiple topics that we have covered. Okay, my dear, I hope you have got opportunity to learn the new style of learning with a broad understanding. Okay, we are going to start next question. And I hope you would not mind if I extend class almost 20-30 minutes. Would you allow me to extend class? I have taken a little bit more time than planned for this question to explain it in more brief for you. So if I little bit extend the class, would it be issue? It's up to you. You will allow me, by the way. Okay, all right. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you very much. We are starting the next question. Now there are two questions in the section B of this paper. There are two questions. We can attempt one question. Question number 2 is on assess the use of EVA as a divisional performance measure, calculate ROI and RI for baby, and assess impact of. I think we can try this question because the third question is a bit lengthy, although theoretical. Lengthy. Here you will have the opportunity to make certain calculations as well. Okay, so we are starting with this question. Okay, all right. This question. The following exhibits available on the left-hand side of the screen provide information relevant to the question. Exhibit number 1, company information, the background and structure of the company. That is Beach Foods, Beach. The divisional performance measurement, details of work required on metrics and the evaluation of performance in the baby division. 3, portfolio analysis, a request for work on the control and management style at each division. Appendix 1, figures from Beach management accounts for the year ended 30th June 20 X5. Appendix 2, manufacturing businesses portfolio. This information should be used to answer the question requirements within your chosen response options. Okay, company information. Beach Foods. Beach is a family-owned business which has grown strongly over its 100-year history. Objective of the business, very important. Objective of the business is to maximize the family wealth through their shareholdings. So we need to highlight it because that is important. Beach has 3 divisions. It manufactures a variety of food in 2 of the divisions: Beach Baby Food Baby Division and Beach Chocolate Foods Chocolate Division. Each of these divisions knows its own market. Each of these divisions know its own market and sets prices accordingly. This is also important information, so we can highlight this information. The third division, R&D, researches new products on the instructions of the other divisions and is considered to be the vital to the survival and growth of Beach. Okay, it is vital to the growth of Beach, so we need to highlight it as well. The board of Beach has been considering the impact of using a divisional structure and has come to you as performance management consultant to ask for your advice. Okay, all right, move on. Next. There is disagreement. There is disagreement at board level about the correct choice of divisional performance measures to be used in the 2 manufacturing divisions. Disagreement at board level about the correct choice of divisional performance measures to be used in the 2 manufacturing divisions. Currently, the business uses EVA, but two directors have been questioning its value, complaining that it is complicated to understand. These directors have been promoting the use of either residual income or return on capital, return on investment as alternatives. Mean instead of using EVA, they are promoting RI or ROI. The board wants to use the same measures for each division. Okay, as well as qualitatively evaluating these different measures, the board needs an assessment of the impact of a change in performance measure on their perception of these divisions' performance. Therefore, as an example, they require you to calculate. You see, mean very clearly told what you have to do, very clearly specify. They require you to calculate and discuss the use of ROI and RI at baby division given the data in Appendix 1. Therefore, they require you to calculate and discuss. These are two separate requirements. I am highlighting in two different colors so you understand it. Okay, they require you to calculate and discuss the use of ROI and RI at baby division given the data in Appendix 1. Okay, next. Portfolio analysis number 3. The chief executive officer of Beach has engaged a business analyst to perform a study of the portfolio of manufacturing businesses which make up Beach. This has been completed in Appendix 2. The CEO wants your comments based on the categorization given in Appendix 2 on how this work will impact on the performance management of the divisions. Specifically, the CEO has asked for your recommendation on how to control each division, that is, whether each division should be treated as a cost or profit or investment center, and also the appropriate management style to use for handling staff in each division. The CEO commented to you. I have heard of different approaches to the use of budget information in assessing performance, such as budget constrained, profit conscious, and also a non-accounting style. I need to know how these approaches might apply to each division given your other comments. All of this work has been partly prompted by complaints from the divisional managers. The chocolate divisional manager complained that they had to wait for a year to get approval to upgrade their main production line. This production line upgrade has reduced wastage and boosted chocolate's profit margin by 10% points. The baby division has been very successful in using the ideas of the research and development division, although babies managers do complain about the recharging of R&D costs to their division. Head office managers are worried about chocolate as it has seemed to be drifting recently with a lack of strategic direction. Chocolate's managers are considered to be good, but possibly not sufficiently focused on what benefits Beach as a whole. Okay, all right. Very good explanation. So where is the requirement here? Requirement is here. Basically, all this is meaningful to understand the requirement. CEO wants your comments based on the categorization given in Appendix 2 on how this work will impact on performance. Main portfolio analysis. how this will impact performance management of the divisions. Specifically, CEO has asked for your recommendation on how to control each division, that is, whether each division should be treated as a cost, profit, or investment. Yes. So this question is going to be very interesting. This question is going to be very interesting. In this question, you are going to learn about responsibility center topic under divisional performance management, and you are also going to learn about management style as well. So much interesting and technical this question is going to train you about preparation and learning. Okay, Appendix 1, figures from beach management accounts for the year ended 30th June 20x5. So baby division is here, revenue 220, cost, divisional operating cost is 1:1, R&D cost charge, recharge 11, allocated head office management fee 28, profit before tax is 60, capital employed 424. Notes: Baby launched a new product with a large publicity campaign during the year. The note number 2, the notional cost of capital for Baby is estimated by the chief financial officer at 11%. The WACC for Beach is 7.5%. ROI for similar entities is 20%. EVA for Baby is calculated as $35 million. Appendix 2, manufacturing businesses portfolio. This is another interesting aspect of this question, that BCG matrix has been combined here. BCG matrix. So in this question, you are going to have a combined topics of BCG, divisional performance management, responsibility centers, and management styles. 4 topics in one go. BCG matrix is here. Portfolio analysis, okay, star, problem child, dog, cash cow, star, baby division is a star. And you know what is a star? Star is the division that is operating in high growth market. I hope you know about the BCG metrics. 2 dimensions are there. One is growth, other is called market share. That can be low or high, growth can be low or high. So star is the one that is operating in high growth market with high market share. Baby is here. Market growth, it is 18% market growth, and my relative market share is 105% against the competitors, top competitors. Cash cow, chocolate is the cash cow. Market growth is 3%. Relative market share is 120%. Problem child and dog, there's no other. Relative market share is the market share of the division compared to that of the market leader. That is of the market leader. If an organization is a market leader, then its market share is compared to the next largest competitor. Okay, you may assume that the calculation and this categorization are accurate. You may assume. Okay, so that's Appendix 2. Here are the requirements. It is now 1st September 20x5. Assess the use of EVA as divisional performance measure for the manufacturing divisions at Beach. Assess the use of EVA as a divisional performance measure for manufacturing divisions at Beach. Manufacturing divisions at Beach mean both divisions. Here students can make mistake. Here chance they may not be able to understand it clearly. So you need to make it clear. Assess the use of EVA. You see, here the style of the question has changed. Here the style of the question has bit changed as compared to question number 1. In question number 1, there was a little in the requirements, but here it's a more elaborative requirement. Assess the use of EVA as a divisional performance measure for manufacturing division. So this does not include calculation. It just to make assessment. Assessment means its suitability, advantage, and disadvantage. The 3 factors you have to consider. 6 marks. B part, calculate ROI and RI for baby division and assess Second part is starting. Impact of the assumptions made on the evaluation of the performance of this division and its management. Impact of the assumptions made on the evaluation of performance. 6 marks. Provide justified recommendation for each division. Justified mean with solid reasoning, argument, recommendation for each division's control and management style. Control and management style, 2 things. This question is quite technical. Okay, you need special preparation for this question. Divisions control and management style. So there are 2 requirements for each division. So there is a good learning for you coming in this question, as requested by the CEO. 8 marks. Professional marks will be awarded for the demonstration of skill in analysis and evaluation together. In SBL, these are separate skills, 5 separate, but in APM, analysis and skill is tested together. Skepticism and commercial acumen together in your answer. Okay, means skepticism and commercial acumen. All right. So basically 3 skills are being tested: analysis and evaluation, then skepticism, and then commercial acumen in your answer. 5 marks for this, and here is the question. You have the 5 minutes maximum to read the question, go through the question, and then I will try to finish it within 20 minutes. So I will not take more than 30 minutes extra time. But I have already requested for your permission to allow me to extend this class. Okay, so quickly take 5 minutes and read the question. Then we will take 20 minutes to finish the answer. Okay, guys, let's start the answer. A quick discussion because we have to close it within 15 minutes. So first of all, because this question covers or testing the management style, so I thought to give you, first of all, a quick revision of the 3 management styles. Some students might not have the clear understanding of the 3 styles, part of the syllabus, APM syllabus. First of all, budget constraint style. What is this? This style of management leads to a focus on cost control. Cost control means tight cost control. Tight cost controls, and often staff not rewarded if they take action which will require investment or the foregoing of short-term profit, such as marketing to build a reputation for reliability as an outsourcing partner. So in short, in simple, in a budget constraint style, there is so much focus is placed on meeting the budgetary targets, and where managers are not allowed to exceed those targets or budgetary numbers. In simple, they are not allowed. They are just required to meet the budgetary numbers. So much focus on cost control. This is called budget constraint style. Sorry. Number two is profit conscious style. It is a little bit relaxing. Okay, relaxing. It evaluates managers on their ability to build long-term profits for the business. So managers' performance is evaluated on the basis of their ability to increase the overall efficiency and effectiveness, resulting in profit maximization. Let me make it simple more for you. What is the difference between budget constraint and profit conscious? That is the technical point. In budget constraint, managers are not allowed to make more spending than the agreed or budgeted. But in profit conscious, yes, it allows managers to exceed budgetary spendings or make new spendings or investments given this is a condition, given those spendings or those investments result in long-term profits and revenue maximization. Okay, that is called profit conscious. Non-accounting style is very different than these two, because in non-accounting style, it does not consider no consideration of budgetary numbers, no consideration of budgetary numbers, but more focus on non-financial, qualitative, more focus on non-financial qualitative measures. Okay, this is non-accounting style. Non-accounting, so it focus on future value drivers, focus on future value drivers. What are the future value drivers? Such as research and development, such as customer like satisfaction, such as staff development and happiness, such as quality enhancement. So these are the long-term future value drivers. Okay. All right. So question number one. Question number one is about EVA as a divisional performance measure. You are not required to calculate, but just to assess. So how to start? How to begin? How to start? Start with EVA aligned with shareholder objective. Start. Its primary focus is on shareholder wealth maximization. Yes, in the long run. So long-term focus. Actually, I again have used bullet points to make the points clear for you. You need to make these into paragraphs. Next feature is that this is a cash flow based measure. A cash flow based measure. Its next feature is that a single measure can be used for the whole organization. Okay. Then its next feature is the motivate managers at all levels to make effort to achieve common goal. All managers have single measure. So all managers put their best, make their best efforts to achieve this goal. If it is positive, value is created. Division's return exceed the cost of capital, if it's positive. If negative, value is destroyed. It encourages managers, next feature, it encourages managers to invest in the long term, such as long-term value drivers, long-run future value drivers, future value drivers. It encourages, unlike profit-based measures that discourage managers to make investment in the future value driver. But this encourages because that is treated as investment. So these are the features. What you need to learn, these are the 4 or 5 points that should be on your fingertips about economic value added. Number one, it aligned with shareholder objective. Number two, focus on shareholder wealth maximization in the long term. Number three, a single measure can be used for the whole organization. Number four, it encourages managers or it aligns managers throughout the whole organization. Number five, it encourages them to make investment in the future value driver. So these are the 5 points that you can learn. Here are some drawbacks of this. Like other two measures, it uses past data, so limited use for forecasting future performance. It requires complex adjustments, unlike ROI and RI, that are simple and easy to measure and understand. It uses weighted average cost of capital that may not consider the risk of divisions, and especially when a firm is not listed, it would be difficult to measure WACC. Why? Yes, that is the technical point. Technical point that when a firm is not listed, then it's difficult to calculate WACC. Why? What is the reason? Because we need market values of equity and debt. This is the reason. Needed market values. So market values of equity and debt are available for listed companies, not for every type of company, such as private companies, it may not be available. So there is problem. Unlike ROI, it is absolute measure that may not help to compare relative performance or divisions at each. These are the problems, and that's all about part A. So you see, in this question, you have got opportunity to learn that sometime EVA just assessment is needed, mean its advantage and disadvantages. Okay, that's it. Move on. Next. Here we need to make certain calculation. So calculations are already done. The question also requires making calculation. Okay. Now this calculation, you may have never made this type of calculation. This question is basically about, the controllable and traceable profit. You know this topic? Hello? Controllable and traceable profit. Controllable profit is used for manager performance, is used for manager performance evaluation. Controllable profit is used for manager performance evaluation. Traceable profit is used for division performance evaluation. Okay, so this topic you got opportunity to solve in this one. Okay, calculations are very straightforward and simple. What I want you will make your own calculation. You will make your own. I am not asking you to send it to me, but this is for your benefit. Don't send me, but you must make your own calculation. Just to revise, to repeat, to prepare, to practice, and feel easy and comfortable. The more practice, more comfortable, more easy, more confidence. Practice equal to confidence, keep in mind. Practice equal to confidence. Others, there are other measures as well. There are other, but I am just telling you that practice leads to confidence. So, very simple calculation. So first of all, start with revenue, 220, divisional operating cost, 121, easy. Please open it. Please open the appendix number 1. Quickly. Open appendix number 1. Revenue is given, straightforward. Operating costs are given straightforward. And here is when you deduct this one, this is called controlled profit or controllable profit. Controllable profit. Here you need to calculate 3 types of profits. 3 types of profits. You need to calculate 3 types of profit. Second profit you need to calculate after adjusting research and development costs. So this is called profit after research and development. After research and development. Okay, after research and development. Now, you also have to deduct the other cost, which is allocated head office cost. So a portion head office fee or cost you deduct, and this is called divisional profit before tax. This profit is used to measure divisional performance. This is called traceable profit as well. This profit is called traceable profit. Okay, so we have calculated 3 types of profits. Now there might be one question in your mind. One question. Why are we not charging R&D cost to the manager? Why not charging R&D cost to the manager? Here you will have its explanation later. Okay, I will explain it later. So on this basis, we need to calculate 3 types of ROI and RI. 3 types of ROI and RI based on controllable profit, based on R&D, based on divisional profit. So you have to calculate the ROI and RI, 23%, 21%, 14%, 52.4, 41.4, and 13.4. Unfortunately, we have very limited time. If you allow me, then you can make these calculations. How this 23% have been calculated? Here is, I know some students will struggle in this calculation. I can tell you. I can tell you some students would make mistakes here in this calculation. Guess why? There is very simple reason. 23% ROI. How ROI is calculated? ROI formula is profit divided by capital employed multiplied by 100. Okay. Profit divided by capital employed multiplied by 100. So profit based on controllable profit is 99 divided by capital employed. How much is the capital employed? Please, can you quickly refer to me? What is capital employed?
44.
4 to 4. Perfect. Multiplied by 100. Okay, in R&D, profit after R&D, we will be using that. Like 88 divided by 424. In divisional profit, we will be using 60 divided by 424 multiplied by 100. All right, that is simple. That is simple. In RI, there is chance some students make mistake. I can tell you. RI formula is profit or operating profit, whatever you want to use. Operating profit minus cost of capital. Okay, so here in the first one, which profit we will use? Now you will suggest me. By the way, you have to make these calculations in spreadsheet just to have the confidence. Okay, apply your formulas as well. I would strongly recommend you on calculations in the Excel, in the spreadsheet, use formulas. Okay. First RI, profit is 99 minus cost of capital. Here, some students can make mistake, I can tell you. Some student can mistake here, I can tell you. Which you will use, which cost of capital you will use? 11% or 7.5%?
7.5.
Here is, I told you, majority of the students will make mistake, I can tell you. Majority. There are two reasons. No. You are making calculation for baby or for beach? Hello? Are you making calculation for baby or for beach? What happened? Am I asking difficult question? So which one you will use? Which one you will use? 11% or 7.5%? Apply 11% quickly. Quickly apply 11%. 11% or 424. This is the technical point. This is the technical point which you need to clear. I already knew students would make mistake. So 424 multiplied by 11%, how much is it? How much is it? 424 multiplied by 11%. Please make your quick calculation. How much is 8? It is 46.64. Now deduct 52, deduct 99. 99 minus 46.64. 99 minus 46.64. How much is it? Don't be afraid of making mistakes before exam. Before exam, don't be afraid of making mistakes. Try 52 points. So this is. So you don't have to use 77.5. You have to use 11%. 11% you will be using because this belongs to baby division. This belongs to baby division. And by the way, we don't use WACC in RI calculation. We use notional cost of capital or imputed cost of capital or notional cost of capital. Okay. I hope rest you can do. The 41.4 and 13.4 is the same. You use the different profits, but the cost of capital will remain same. I hope you can understand it. Okay, now let's talk about the assumptions we have made. If there is any question, you note down and you can ask me. Yes, if you guys need these answers, I will be sharing with you, no problem. I have no issue because these answers are already developed. So I can share, no problem. Okay, assumptions need to be made regarding treatment of certain cost in profit calculation. Yes, we have made certain assumptions in the calculation. This is the important for you. Controllable profit relates to those revenue and cost under direct control of. We have assumed that controllable profit, how this profit has been calculated. But this does not reflect R&D cost, although it takes account of the revenue which new products are generating. Yes, the division, here is the logic. Here is the logic. Why not charging R&D cost to manager? Although manager is benefiting from the research and development activity in terms of new product development, and those new product developments are benefiting in terms of increased revenue, but still R&D cost is not within the charge of the manager. Do you think manager can affect or influence R&D cost? Quick. Do you think manager can affect or influence R&D cost? No. Why no? Because this cost is incurred by the R&D division. So I can write here, because baby division manager can't influence or control R&D cost although benefiting. So this is the reason we have put it into a different category. We have calculated another category of profit. I hope this point is clear to you as well. Okay. It would be more appropriate to include these costs in assessment of the divisional manager performance, especially if the product development was at the request. Anyway, the assessment of the division itself should include all relevant operating costs, and so the divisional profit would be appropriate figure to use. All right, my dear, this is how you need to make separate calculations for traceable and controllable profit. This question is good question to train you. And by the way, we have solved mock exam for December 2022. C is here. C, part C. Quickly finish it. Question about C is, your CEO has asked for your recommendation on how to control each division. That is, whether each division should be treated as a cost, profit, or investment center, and also appropriate management style for each. So first, let's start with heading. Your headline or heading is baby division. Start. How to start? Start with like this. It is a star division. Star of each portfolio, and with new products launching, it would be sensible to treat baby as investment center. So my dear, here is a learning for you that a star should be treated as investment center. In BCG matrix, if there is a star, it should be treated as an investment center. Why? Because a star requires more investment unless it turn into cash cow. You know, star of today are the future cash cows. So keep investing. Next point is about autonomy and control. Is about control. Talk about control. So control, autonomy to continue to develop its business successfully. Give them more control. Don't put restrictions, avoid restrictions on investment center or star, otherwise its performance would be affected. So don't put controls, avoid controls. I would say avoid. For that reason, the business is rapidly growing, so a budget constraint style would be inappropriate. You see, budget constraint style is not suitable for star because budget constraint style put restrictions on spending. So if you will put restrictions on spending, star performance would be affected. So inappropriate, as it would stifle the creativity answer necessary for such division, as would negatively impact growth. A non-accounting style. So what is the suitable style? Non-accounting style is suitable. Once the market sector has matured further, then you can change the style. Next, chocolate division. Chocolate is a cash cow. So cash cow should be treated as a profit center because cash cow need little or no investment. So cash cow is a profit center, focus on profits maximization. When it comes to control, you need cost controls, tight cost control. For that reason, budget constraint style is the most effective one, with special emphasis places on ability to generate profit. Appropriate performance measures would be profit. Here, here's a good another point for you. Appropriate profits measures. APM question can also test this point as well. Point number 5. In this question, you have learned appropriate measures. Okay, for this, and for this. Appropriate measure, performance measures. Okay, the third one is R&D division, no source of revenue. R&D is not selling anything. So there is no source of revenue other than internal recharge. It just recharges for its cost to other divisions. So better treated as cost center. Value of division will only be appreciated if overall profit generated from these new products can be demonstrated. Yes, you to appreciate, to motivate, to let them know the result of their new development. It's a good idea to share with them how much new profit and revenue we are generating from the new products. Problem with baby division manager, they only see the recharge cost appearing in their performance reports without revenue, which these products, okay. What is suitable budget management style? Suitable management style. It would be important not to constrain the division within a fixed overall budget if there are a number of good product development ideas. A budget constrained style of management would be appropriate where budget is set separately for each new product development project. Generation of ideas may be helped by using a non-accounting style. Yes, budget constraint style is not good for a creative department because it set budgetary spending targets. But in creativity and innovation, there is no limit on spending. So non-accounting style giving priority to more than just numbers. All right, a specific approach will therefore need to take account of all these factors in order to arrive at a style of management which meets the needs of the company. That is all, my dear, about a wonderful question you have done in this question. So many things to learn. And here is the marking scheme for you. Unfortunately, because of limited time, I did not discuss the marking scheme of question number 1, but I will share this document with you where you will be able to look at the marking scheme as well. Okay, so here are the marking scheme, and here are the professional marks. Which is very important for you to understand how to get professional marks, 5 marks. So for analysis and evaluation, that is a 1 skill, analysis and evaluation both. So this is related to balanced and reason of EVA. Consider advantage and disadvantage. Yes, this requires you balance and reasons. EVA consider suitable comparison of EVA against both alternatives. We have also done this one as well. Comprehensive recommendation discussing both type of center and management style. I think we have made little emphasis on this point. Okay, we need to add more points on related to this. Skepticism, recognition of inherent limitation in all 3 measures. Commercial acumen is about recognition that R&D division is a cost center. You have done it. So that is how professional skills marks work, and that is end of our today class. I must be thankful to you for allowing me to take extra 40 minutes. Okay, because unfortunately we have limited time, 3 hours, but it is just here to help you learn better. I'm going to class, but I would definitely looking forward to hear from your feedback about this class, how this new style of preparation is effective, how it is different from the previous approaches, and do you would like to continue this approach, or you would like me to go for the previous approach where I speak and you write? So which approach is more better? Waiting for your comments in the WhatsApp group. Please must share, and I'm going to close the class now. Have a beautiful evening and good night, and see you in the next class. Thank you very much. Don't forget to share your feedback, thoughts about this class. Okay, waiting for that. Good night.